Welcome to the Sacred Emergence Podcast. I'm your host, Michelle Wong, and I'm so thrilled that you're here. This is a place where you'll be guided to living your most aligned life so that your truest, most radiant self can emerge. We'll be jamming on topics ranging from spirituality, entrepreneurship, to wellness and lifestyle design, and everything in between that can support you to grow, evolve, and shine, all the while not taking ourselves too seriously. So if you're ready to step into your leadership, break through limiting beliefs, own all of who you are, and expand in abundance, grab yourself your faith cup of tea and let's dive in. Hey, welcome back to another episode of Sacred Emergence. It's Michelle Wong here, and today it is you and me, solo episode. Hi. I feel like it's been a while since I've done a solo. For the past 3 months at least, we've had guests on the show, and I'm just really thrilled with the selection of guests that came on. So welcome if this is your first time listening, and welcome back if you are a returning listener. So I've been doing, if you've been following me on social media, I've been doing daily Facebook Lives. And initially I was going to do it across Instagram as well, and I might, but right now I've been doing it mostly on Facebook through my personal page, my private Facebook group, and my business page. Just like every day I'll just choose one group to do it in. And so it's been a lot of fun. And it's also challenging at times because sometimes I don't know what to say. However, what I wanted to share with you in this episode is one of the recent lives that I did, and it's really around, during times of uncertainty, like how do we show up for ourselves. So I'm gonna play that, and that's gonna be like a main chunk of today's episode. So this will be rather short and sweet, and I wanted to kind of do a check-in and see how you're all doing. In Seattle, we've been in self-isolation mode, social distancing, or physical distancing, I should say, for at least a month now. I think like maybe 3 weeks of mandatory, and I think it's still continuing through early May, and that might get further pushed back again when the time comes. But I know different people have different reactions to this and different ways of dealing with this, and I'm not going to talk too much about it. I just know that we all have a choice of how we are going to show up. And if I can share my experience, for me, this is such a great opportunity to take pause. And back in last summer and early fall and through winter, but especially during early fall, I was trapped at home. I couldn't move, really. I couldn't drive. I couldn't leave my place. I could move, but I was on crutches. I was healing, and I was going through something pretty similar. And I felt like back then my situation was less ideal. And now, even though I'm supposed to, be isolated from other people, I still have the opportunity to drive to a park. I can go out for a walk. And whiles before, when I was recovering and still on crutches and all of that, I couldn't. And so it's really all about perspective, and I know that there are people who are suffering and going through grief and who are sick, and so I'm not downplaying any of that. And I also want to say that every day, there are people suffering, regardless of pandemics, and so this is just on a larger scale. And one of the things that was it was apparent to me, and it wasn't obvious to me until I thought more about it, because I've been in my joy and I was hiding it because I was like, I know there's a lot of people who are having a hard time. And then it hit me, like, why am I hiding my joy? Because we need more light workers. We need more optimistic people. We need people who are bringing their joy to see a different perspective. Just because there are people who are suffering, who are hurt, who are sad, it doesn't mean all of us have to be that, right? It's a selfish perspective if we feel that way as well. Like, oh, just because I'm sad and I'm unhappy, no one else can be happy, right? So that was an awareness that came, and I was like, oh, I'm going to actually show up and be in my joy. And it's so interesting because I had an appointment with my physical therapist, and one of the physical therapist aide was asking me how I was doing. And I said, you know what, I'm doing pretty well. My finances are affected. The stock market is affecting me financially. And you'll hear in my Facebook Live my perspective on that. But really, I'm overall doing really well. And she said, wow, that is such a breath of fresh air to hear you say that. And, even in one of my Facebook posts recently, someone commented, they were like, I'm so appreciative of your joy, especially during this time when there's so many people who are suffering. It's really good to see a different perspective. And really, I'm just showing up as who I am. I'm not rubbing it in people's faces. But there are people in this world who need light right now. They need to see a different side, and they are happy and they want to be around other people who are happy. Right. So I wanted to share that. And also sending you love wherever you are at. And at the end of the day, we're all in this together. And this brings up something else. If you've been following me on social media, I am so excited. I am launching a membership program, and I have the name. Oh, I'm going to reveal it. I'm going to reveal it here because when this launches, I'm recording it the day before this is going live. So I will be announcing this on social media. So you get to be the first people who hear the name of my membership program. But before I do, what this membership program is about is around women supporting women. It's around community. It's around embodiment, doing the work. And it's for leaders. It's for women leaders. And if you are a women leader, basically what that means is that you're willing to show up to do the work, right? You have integrity and you are working towards personal growth, development, and you're in it. And you're also wanting to grow this authentically, or you're wanting to show up authentically, not grow this authentically. I want to grow this group authentically. And so it's really about a really supportive environment, but having fun. And what it will look like is on month to month. So it's a monthly membership. It's not going to be content heavy, right? So you get bite-sized pieces of information that's all around courage, all around confidence, all around inner leadership. And the most important thing is how we are embodying the work so that we build our resilience. We cultivate more courage. And courage compounded over time leads to confidence. And through this process, through this work, our leadership, right? How we show up for ourselves, it's going to grow. And it is a paid membership because I feel so strongly around investing in yourself. There has to be a financial investment so that we are accountable and we show up. And it's for women who know this is for them. And I'm talking to women who are working, who are in corporate worlds, who have a 9-to-5, and they know that there's something that's deeper for them, that there's something that's bigger, something that's more. And sometimes that more is not an external more, it's just an internal more of yeah, I'm ready to transform. And I want to do this within a supportive environment where it's safe. And so the container is going to be through Facebook. And we're going to do at least monthly Zoom virtual meetings. And that's what I'm thinking about so far. So the founding members who are coming on, they are going to help shape the program. And so I'm so excited because I already have signups and I'm just yay. And there's people who are asking questions about it. But I'm keeping it generally vague in terms of all the details because I feel like if it's not a linear, logical decision, let's make it a heart decision. Let's make it a body decision. If you're curious, you want to know more, please reach out. And I will basically tell you what I just told you. And you just have to kind of lean into it and figure out is this for me? And the fact that it is a membership program, you can, sign on and then you can, if you feel like it's not a right fit for you, then you can, if there's no contract, right? Then you can decide, okay, I'm gonna stop. But there's gonna be a monthly membership fee, or if you know that you're all in for the year, then you can pay an annual fee. And so now the founding membership price, which is gonna be the lowest because this is something new that I'm creating, and the founding members are gonna help shape this. And it's a membership basis, so it'll annually renew for a year. if you choose the annual one. And if you do monthly, obviously it renews monthly. And so you get your price locked in for the year if you decide you want to do that, because I will be increasing the price after the first round of the membership closes. On the next round, the price will go up. What else did I want to say? Okay, so the name of the membership group, which I haven't revealed publicly yet at this time, but you'll be the first to know, especially since I publish these episodes pretty early in the morning. So the name of this membership program is the Courage Collective. Yeah, I'm like so excited. This membership program came to me through when I was in my breathwork session. It was an intense session. It was doing it virtually with 100 other people, and this came through for me of like how can I show up more? Like what is it that we need at this moment? And this came through. So I'm stoked, and it's going to be a really amazing container. So if you want more details, please reach out. You can DM me on Instagram at michellewong.xo. If you find me on Facebook, I'm there, or you can email me, michelle@nonlinearpath.com. And we're all leaders. So if you identify yourself as a leader and you're feeling called, then let's do this, right? Sometimes you just got to trust. I just invested in a hefty mastermind program, a 6-week program with one of my coaches, and it was an investment. And it was one of the first times I ever said yes without knowing all the details. Like I just trusted it, and we are I think 4 days into this mastermind, and my socks are blown off. And so it was an expensive investment. Well, expensive. It was an investment, right? It was over $3,000 for 6 weeks. And so for me though, it was like, yes, let's do this. Like I just really followed my human design energy. And so I should say that the Courage Collective is also going to have content based on human design and how you can align more with your design. It's all about that. And also like looking at self-care tools, and it's not about more information. We don't need more information. We need to start embodying, right? Like what feels good? How do we want to align? What do we want to energetically calibrate to so that we are uplifting each other up and ourselves, right? And so it's going to be super fun, and I have a vision for it, and together we're going to create something beautiful. And I'm going to be in it too. So it's not like I am above everyone. No, I'm in it too, right? I'm going to do the work that everyone else is going to be doing. So that's for me, that's leadership. There's no hierarchy, right? We're all in this together. So anyway, without further ado, I'm going to share with you the Facebook Live that I did. It was really, you'll hear about it, but really it's around how do we show up in times of uncertainty. And yeah, this was day 123 of my daily lives, and I'm still going strong. I think right now is at this time of this recording, where am I? I think I'm day 135, right? So anyway, I hope you like this segment. Hope you're doing well. Stay safe, stay strong, take care of yourself, and please reach out if I can support you in any way. Have a beautiful, beautiful week. And if you're tuning into this, years down the road, months down the road, I'm sure the membership program is still active, so reach out. And if this resonated with you, like with what I shared with the Facebook Live segment, please share this. You can always share it on Instagram. You can share it in the stories, tag me. And if it feels good to you, I would love for you to give me a rating and a review on whichever platform you listen on. Spotify, Apple iTunes, I think it's called, I don't even know what it's called now, but if you listen through Apple for sure really helps the podcast get seen. And so if you do the reviews on there, that would be amazing. And I so appreciate you, regardless of whether or not you actually do it. But it would mean the world to me if you did. Anyway, thank you, love you, and have a beautiful, beautiful day, week, night, wherever you're at. Cheers. Hello, everybody. Welcome to day 123 of my 366 days of live. Michelle here, and wanted to pop on and talk about a conversation that I had with my sweetie. And, right now with the COVID-19, it's like the economy is, fluctuating, the stock markets are going down. And I think some way, shape, or another, we're all affected by it. And so he asked me if I was like worried about the stock market or if he thinks it's going to go back up and like all of that. And this is like 2008 all over again. And back in 2008, I was like clueless. I didn't know, like, all of my savings went down, all of my investments went down. And so I reacted and I regretted it. And so this time around, I'm like, okay, yeah, the numbers are going down. But the real question is like, am I going to be emotionally tied to the stock market, right? It goes up and down. And honestly, the stock market is tied to fear. It's tied to fear. And so I said to him, like my stocks are getting affected, but I'm not banking on the stock market. I'm banking on myself, right? Like I'm not depending on the stock market to make my riches and make my millions. So I'm asking you, like, who are you banking on, or what are you banking on? Are you banking on like a rescue from the government, from whatever, or are you banking on yourself, right? And at times like these, my batteries are dying. At times like these, it's important to like really master your inner game, and that takes work. It takes effort. It takes consciousness, and this is why meditating, being aware of your emotions and doing the work is important, because, back in 2008, which is like what, 12 years ago, 12 years ago, it was a completely different place than where I am now. And if you're tuning in, please say hello. Completely different place. And so, yeah, it takes like self-mastery and experience, and like I've been through that in 2008, and I don't want to have a repeat of my emotions and reacting from a place of emotions. And so like, are you relying on the external, or are you going to take this time to tap into like, okay, like how can I pivot? What can I do? Maybe start looking at other opportunities where I can step in and be my entrepreneur and create like a side hustle, join a network marketing business, or, think about now is a great opportunity to get creative and start your own online business. There's so many things you can do. So I just believe that if we start relying on bailouts and stuff like that, it's just not going to be sustainable, right? And right now, like I'm assuming everything is temporary, but in the process, this is such a great opportunity to start taking action and to get creative, if you have the capacity to. And I believe that we all do, because we are given an invitation right now to do something different with our lives. It's such a beautiful opportunity. So who are you banking on? Are you banking on the stock market? Are you banking on the government? Or are you banking on yourself, right? Super important. I'm going to leave that there, and let me know if you have any thoughts, comments. And I'm taking a really high vibe, like optimistic outlook that at the end of the day, we're all going to be good. We're all going to be okay. It's just a matter of whether or not we are willing to tap into what is uncomfortable, something that I've been leaning into and learning and remembering, and not playing in like the field of what is comfortable and going for the comfort, because what we want is really outside of our comfort zone, right? We've seen all the memes, we've seen all the personal growth stuff, but like really what we want is outside our comfort zone. So are you willing to be uncomfortable and bank on yourself and do the inner work and show up and be the inner leader, the leader that you are, so that you can really be the change? All right, everybody, hope you're doing well, and see y'all soon. Hey, it's Michelle again off of the Facebook Live. This is me recording the podcast. I was wrapping things up and I was like, oh my God, this is episode 50. And so I had to come in before the final closing and just say, oh my gosh, I'm so like grateful we hit the 50th episode. And thank you if you are, your first time listening, or if you're a returning listener and you've done popcorn style, just, choosing whichever episode's called to you, or if you listen straight through, I'm celebrating you as well. Thank you for being a listener. And honestly, like, I'm just so thrilled. And there's, 50th episode is just the beginning. There's more to come. And so totally celebrating and just with full gratitude. Join our free private Facebook group community, Sacred Emergence, to receive more connection, guidance, and support, and take part in our 5-day Inner Confidence Challenge to not only boost your confidence, but to help activate your inner leadership. Details in the show notes. Thank you for listening to the Sacred Emergence podcast. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss an episode, and thank you in advance for sharing this with others who can benefit. Until next time.